All right, so if you're a developer and you feel like you're just stuck in this job search maze, sending out application after application and just hearing crickets, well, this one's for you. We are going to break down how to flip that frustrating process into a winning strategy.
Does this sound familiar? I mean, it's a tough spot to be in. You've got the skills, you've got the experience, but your inbox is just silent. It's so demoralizing, right? Especially when companies give you zero feedback. You can't help but wonder, what am I doing wrong? But here's the thing. What if I told you the problem isn't always you?
You see, when you apply to a big company, your application doesn't just land on a recruiter's desk. Oh no, first it has to get past this invisible gatekeeper, a piece of tech that literally throws out most of the applicants before a human being ever even sees their name. So let's crack open this black box.
Say hello to the Applicant Tracking System, or ATS. Honestly, just think of it as a robot bouncer for your CV. Big companies get thousands, sometimes tens of thousands of applications for just one job. It's impossible for a person to read them all, so they use this software to make the first cut. This means your first challenge isn't to impress a recruiter, it's to write a CV that a machine can actually read and understand.
And this right here really gets to the heart of the problem. That CV on the left. It looks great, right? Designed for the human eye, it's got cool columns, some icons, maybe a photo. But to an ATS, all that fancy formatting is just noise. When the software hits a table or an icon, it gets totally confused. It might misread your info, or even worse, just skip it entirely. Now the one on the right, it's simple, it's clean, and it's perfectly parsable for that machine.
And here is the brutal reality of what happens. We took a really nice, visually appealing, human-friendly CV and ran it through an online ATS checker. The result? A score of just 33%. Now get this, most of these systems are programmed to automatically filter out anything below a 70% match score. That means this CV is going straight into the digital trash can. Your application is over before it even had a chance.
So the big question is, how do we beat this thing? How do we get past the robot gatekeeper? Well, the solution is to build a profile that is both machine-readable and, still impressive to a human. Let's start by crafting the tools that will get you noticed by the right people and the right algorithms.
Okay, the number one rule here, keep it simple. Use a single column, standard fonts, and super clear headers like experience and skills. Nothing fancy. Next, and this is crucial, you have to read the job description like you're studying for a test. Mirror its keywords. If they ask for cloud computing, you better believe your CV should say cloud computing. And finally, quantify your impact. Don't just say you made things better. Say you enhanced system efficiency by 25%. Numbers are proof.
Now, an ATS-friendly CV will get you past that first filter, but that's really only half the battle. You have to remember, recruiters don't just sit around waiting for applications to come in. They are actively hunting for talent. And your LinkedIn profile? That's your professional billboard. It's your digital handshake, and it's often the very first place a recruiter is going to look you up. And guess what? Just like with your CV, on LinkedIn, keywords are king. Recruiters live inside LinkedIn's search function, looking for people with specific skills. So you need to load your profile, especially your headline and your summary, with the right terms for the jobs you want. Put yourself in their shoes. What words would you type in to find someone exactly like you? Make absolutely sure those words are all over your profile.
But it's not just about listing your old jobs. You've got to show your passion, your initiative. Link to your GitHub profile. Talk about that little weather app you built over a weekend. This stuff is tangible proof that you genuinely love to code and build things. And as Donnie McCleary points out here, for a lot of companies, especially startups, that kind of personal drive is way more valuable than just years of corporate experience.
Think of endorsements on LinkedIn as social proof. It's other professionals literally vouching for you, saying, yeah, they know their stuff. But you've got to be strategic about it. Don't just collect random ones. Ask your old manager to endorse you specifically for algorithm development or a senior colleague for Kubernetes. And remember, it's a two-way street. A great way to get endorsements is to give them first. It really works.
Okay, your CV is optimized, your LinkedIn is looking sharp. Now it's time to actually apply. But even with the best profile in the world, you can still fall into some really common traps. So let's talk about how to apply smarter, not just harder, and avoid those instant rejections.
All right, time for some real talk. Let's be honest about some common mistakes. A lot of developers, and I mean a lot, are sabotaging their own job search without even realizing it.
These job search sins are super common, but the good news is they're actually pretty easy to fix once you know what they are.
First up on our list, the Easy Apply button. I know, it feels so productive clicking it over and over again, but it is a trap. That feature just floods companies with so many applicants that they get completely overwhelmed. And what do? Often, they'll just randomly delete half the applications to get the pile down to a manageable size. That means your amazing, carefully crafted application has a 50-50 shot of being deleted by pure chance. Always, always try to find another way to apply, like on the company's own website.
Next up, you have to stop sending out generic, one-size-fits-all applications. Every single application you send needs to be tailored to that specific role. Look, if the job description asks for experience in modern serverless infrastructure and your CV says you worked with AWS Lambda, just take the extra 30 seconds and rephrase it. Make it unbelievably easy for the recruiter to connect the dots between their needs and your experience. And finally, please do not dismiss recruiters. Yeah, I know some of them can be annoying, but a good recruiter is a powerful ally. They have relationships and trust with hiring managers that you just don't. When they submit your CV, it carries weight. A single conversation with the right recruiter can turn into them applying to multiple roles for you, sending your profile directly to the person who makes the final decision. It's a huge shortcut.
So now that you've got your profile dialed in and a smart strategy, let's think bigger, much bigger. In today's world, your dream job might not be in your city or even in your country. The opportunities for developers are truly global now.
Just take a look at the earning potential. It varies so much around the world. While the US and Switzerland are way up there in terms of salary, places like Germany, Canada, and Australia offer really competitive pay combined with an amazing quality of life. This isn't just about the money. It's about finding the place that's the best overall fit for your life.
I know moving abroad can seem like a huge, complicated process, but many countries are actively competing for tech talent just like you. They've created all these specialized visa pathways to make it easier. Canada has programs to fast-track developers, you've got startup and digital nomad visas in Europe, and the EU Blue Card lets you work across the entire union. These doors are wide open for skilled professionals.
And you know, the big thing that makes all of this possible is the rise of what's called distance work. Remote work isn't just a fad anymore, it's being written into labor laws all over the world. These formal agreements protect your rights as an employee, and more importantly, they open up the very real possibility of working for a company in Berlin from your home in, well, anywhere. The old geographical barriers are just falling away.
So the main takeaway here is that the job search has fundamentally changed. You need a strategy that understands technology and embraces global opportunity. By optimizing your profile, applying intelligently, and broadening your horizons, you're no longer just someone looking for a job, you're taking control of your entire career. So I'll leave you with this question. With these tools at your disposal, is it possible your next job is on a whole other continent?